Welcome. Thanks for coming in today for the webinar. My name is Frank Klesitz. I have a company called Vyral Marketing, Vyral Marketing. You can Google Vyral Marketing or go to getvyral.com, Getvy is in yellow, ral.com. Been around for about 16 years. And one of our clients, one of our great clients is Linda, and she's here today. And we're going to spend some time talking about how to book more appointments from your database with video. That's today's topic. And we're going to share what's working for Linda, what she's doing with us as a client. So you can take a look at what it's like to work here if you're interested in, hiring Vyral and going down that path. And more importantly, we want to give you a system today that you can swipe and deploy for yourself to round up your whole database of past clients, centers of influence, lead nurturers, scrub them, deduplicate them, start getting great messages out that are educational, also direct response, and start kind of shake the trees from your number one existing asset, which is your existing list, to hopefully bring some opportunities near the top. So you or maybe someone else can call them to meet with you, which might lead to some buyers and sellers working with you. And that's what you've done, Linda,
Yeah,
right? Yep,
that's it.
that's it. So why don't you tell a little everyone, if anyone's not familiar with you, why don't you tell everyone how long you've been in real estate and kind of what you're doing now to generate your business or what you're doing now overall to get appointments from your existing database with video. Give them the 10,000-foot view.
Sure. So, just a brief history. I've been in real estate for 28 years, started in Dallas, Texas, was there for about 2 years, and moved to Austin in 1999. And Austin, Texas is now our home. Originally from the Northeast, so we've moved a lot of different places. So, for me, real estate was a natural progression and something I fell into because I loved houses, I loved people, I loved driving even, and I loved analytics, you name it. So have been doing this for quite a while. I had my own company from 2004 to 2024, and then last year decided to move to a big company, moved to Compass for a number of reasons, and that's a whole other story. But during that progression, I ran into Frank, and I don't even remember how we met, but I know that during COVID, I was also a national real estate coach for 6 years. And we actually got to meet in person after we had been working together for a year or two. And I was really surprised at how tall he was because we've been sitting
Yeah.
behind Zoom calls for quite a long time. But I can tell you that the trajectory of my business has really changed. And in fact, in this past year has been our biggest year ever. And not many people can say that in this market, and especially in Central Texas. Austin prices have dropped, plummeted about 20%. We had a much further drop over the past year or two than we did than perhaps in Dallas and Houston, primarily because we had such a huge trajectory during the COVID years. So people were purchasing homes far above asking price, and there was buying frenzy. So now there was just a bigger correction, but we're back to where we probably need to be. And for me, I think one of the biggest reasons why we had a really great year this past year was incorporating video newsletters. Knowing myself, I can tell you that, and probably knowing most realtors, most of us are ADD, and we don't have the systems in place, nor do we have the discipline to time block and meet with a coach regularly without that accountability. So for me, having a set appointment with my account rep and having them do all of the behind the scenes work, doing all of the editing on the videos and putting together the newsletters, giving us script ideas, has really grown our business. In addition to that, I think the thing that really helped was honing in on our call to action. So having several different calls to action and then monitoring the results that we, the opens and the click rates has been really eye-opening. And there have been a number of times where we have we have found that people that we never did business with before have now called on us to help them sell their properties. And in fact, we sold more high-end luxury properties this past year than ever before. So, and a lot of those people were on the other side of a transaction with us in years past. And we made certain that we added those people to our database. So here's a little trick for you, especially because their realtor, when they purchased the property, may not be in business anymore or they just didn't stay in touch with them. So we're starting to establish that relationship whenever they click on our video and they continue to watch them and they continue to ask them.
That is fantastic. What was your, let me start here, and then we're going to get into exactly what you did. But back in 2004, maybe it was 2003. What,
2004.
what was the point when you realized you needed to solve the problem of staying in better touch with your existing database? When did you realize that maybe a solution that Viral provides was something maybe you needed to do? What was that
Yeah.
point?
Well, this was a few years ago. Um, I had I probably heard from several different people out in the industry that were selling one system or another. There are people who are talking a lot about long form video, and I would just kind of explore that and look at them and I knowing myself and knowing what most of our clients are like, I don't have the time to watch long form video. It's rare. If I knew that I wanted to live in a particular community, then I might watch a 20-minute video. I'm not going to watch an hour video ever, unless it's a movie, unless it's a blockbuster. So I think that people they need to establish a relationship. So it's not, once they establish the relationship and they establish the trust, then we can help hone in on areas for them, whether or not we use video or not, with some of the other interactions with our people. But um, reaching out in touch with people, I mean, we have had very, very, very few unsubscribes, and we have terrific open rates. At least I think we do. And that's just kind of, to me, that's telling. If you have people that are clicking through and they're asking for information, they're asking for advice, the call to action, I think, makes a huge difference because you're actually giving them options and an opportunity to reach out with something that's relevant to them.
I think what's important, for one of the reasons I want the audience to hear of why this moved the needle for you business wise, is the social media and the video marketing, emails, all that stuff was very focused inward to staying in touch with your existing list and years of relationships, and not so much chasing algorithms to get found by strangers,
Mhm.
at least with the intent and the way this was built. Can you explain that a bit to the audience of how this is a very database focused way of communicating and not, building out necessarily a YouTube channel to get found?
Yeah, so we being in business for a longer period of time obviously gives us some advantages because we can build upon that base. Um, but um, people get a ton of email right now. They just get a ton of it. So unless they recognize the name, there's a good chance they may not click through. But at the same time, it's not a one and done. Um, I think you need to nurture it. You need to make sure that you update it on a regular basis. And we do have other touch points that we use with people, but nothing has been as successful as this. Probably because it's a living, breathing thing. It's the database changes, CRM changes, but also what we're talking about changes. So people have questions. They're seeing an awful lot of information that's out there. Some of it's correct and some of it's incorrect. And so when they talk to somebody or feel like somebody's talking to them and answering their questions, there's just more confidence in getting the true story. So getting comfortable having conversations and not worrying so much about, you know, am I going to be perfect? No, you're not. You're not going to be perfect, but that's okay. Nobody wants perfect. People want to talk to real human beings, and they want to feel like there's a. I mean, oftentimes I'll be on video, and I think just now, one of my dogs came by. If you heard a little growl or whatever, that was because somebody walked in the door. So it just happens. It's life. So that makes it human. The human touch is really important, and we're in the we're in this real estate sales business, but we're also in the human business. We are invited into people's lives at the most critical points in their life, whether or not they're moving for a happy reason or they're moving for a change in lifestyle or a job move or something that's a little more challenging, a divorce or a death or something of that. So we're we need to establish that rapport, and we need also to defend what we do for them. And this helps us raise the level of professionalism and also gives them a peek behind the curtain. So, anytime that we can share information that helps people make an informed decision, especially if they feel like they don't need to pay for it right now, they just want to get a little more information. I'm always astonished by the number of people that are engaged, and sometimes they don't always reach out. They just continue and continue and continue to watch. But when they are ready, I feel that more often than not, we're the ones that they get in touch with. And I think it doesn't matter whether you have 50 people in your database, 250 in your sphere of influence, um, or you have an extended database. The ones that are going to click through are probably the people that know you or at least have seen enough information about you that they're curious.
So let's walk through, thank you, Linda, how the audience can execute on this of what you did. You know, Linda wanted to do a better job of staying in touch with all of her contacts beyond just canned drips by publishing very helpful videos consistently.
Hmm.
And people watched them and it started conversations. Well, we didn't just jump to publishing videos and throwing them online. We first went through and rebuilt your database and got it all onto one spot. Essentially, everyone that has probably ever known you in your entire life, right?
Yeah,
Which is a little terrifying. I'll get to that question here in a minute when I asked you to first email them all. But can you speak a little bit to what we asked you to do when you first hired us? We asked you to go into your cell phone, where I'm
mhm,
actually to walk the audience through how to do it here shortly. We asked you to go into your email contacts, which I'll share on my screen and walk you guys through how to do it, and as well as go into your CRM and basically grab anyone there that hasn't unsubscribed or bounced. And we deduplicated, scrubbed them all, and we put them into an email marketing program, and we sent an initial reconnect message laying down this foundation that they're going to start getting more communication going forward from you. Will you speak to that a little bit, and then we'll get in and we'll show everyone how to do it?
sure. Yeah, so it's really permission based. And they know why they're getting it because they've had some interaction with me over the years. So, yeah, I was actually astonished how easy you made the process, walking hand in hand with us to get it done. So I remember that like it was yesterday, going through my phone, going through
Hmm.
my emails, and going through my CRM. And but in fact, even going through my phone, I have over 22,000 people in my phone. And part of that is because I very often will put leads in my phone and I'll mark them with where they came from and what the date was with the initial contact. Because if I don't really know them, then I want to have a reference on where they're from. So we probably had, maybe a little bit different than some people. I had a ton of people in there. But those are not generally the ones that we're going to have the best results with anyway. So whether or not they opt out or not, I don't know. And in some cases, we also went through because I know a ton of realtors, not only in Austin but all over the country. So we had to kind of pull those out as well. And so we were looking for certain words, real estate or realtor or realty, in that contact so that we could pull them out. Some of them, if their email is Jane Doe at Home Sweet Home, it might not show up as realty or realtor, so maybe it sneaks through. Honestly, I don't care. I mean, if other realtors see what we do, I'm a sharer. I just believe there's for people who are willing to do the work, and especially knowing that somebody else can guide them along the way. This is just a fantastic opportunity for people to maximize their business with the least amount of time, the least amount of headaches, and with a regular schedule. One thing we did do a little bit different is we do very often take advice from some of the scripts that Viral helps us with, but there are other times when things are more state specific. We may talk to people about homestead or or senior exemptions, or we might talk to them about protesting their taxes at certain times of the year, things of that sort that might be just particular to Texas, on which, and I think Florida is also very similar to Texas as well as far as how they run their real estate businesses. But but that's fine. And Viral has always been great about working with us to create these scripts or to go and write the copy after we've videoed. And they do a tremendous job with editing out
Yeah.
all my bloopers, which is which is sometimes worse than others. Or taking that part out when the dog hits the stand and everything kind of looks a little wonky. So yeah. And so anyway, but it was a great process, and it continues to evolve. We just added a bunch of people. I think we just added like 3,000 people in the last couple months. Um, and um, and we've also we use it not only for our buyer and seller tracks, but we also use it for recruiting. So for
Oh,
anybody
yes.
who's building a brokerage or building a um, a team, or like we are, we have. I'm building a team. I also obviously feel really strongly about staying in touch with buyers and sellers, but we also have a referral company, and so people have options when they have the real estate license on whether they want to grow their business or whether they want to step back and maybe still get referral money. So
You know, there's a lot to unpack there. And
yeah.
if we have time, we're going to get into the wonderful brokerage that you have. Hello, son. This is my son, Michael. Say hi.
Hi, Michael.
He's home from school. You're all set, buddy. You can go use it.
I remember Michael from the boat.
Yep. hmm He said, nice couch behind you.
Oh, thanks.
All right, audience. So let's walk you through what Linda did. Let's execute, shall we? So if you go into your phone, I'd like you to go look up an app that looks something like this. Let's see if that can zoom in and is correct on there. Do you see that? It's called Export Contacts by Covey, Covve. All right. And that's a cool little, just type in Export Contacts by Covve. It might charge you a couple bucks to download. I recommend you pay it. And once you download it, it's going to tell you how many contacts you have in your phone. And how many did you have, Linda, when you did
Over
this?
22,000.
My goodness. So you just click Export Contacts, and it just sends you all of the people that are in your phone to a spreadsheet and save it to your desktop. That's step number one. Download that app, save all the contacts to your desktop. That's it. Next. All right. We're going to reconnect with your existing database. Linda did all this. I'm going to assume most of you use Gmail or Google Workplace. You could do the same thing if you have Outlook or whatever your main email marketing program is. But if I go to contacts.google.com, that's what I recommend you type in. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Here we go. All right. So I'm now in my kind of my contacts.google.com. Do you see this, Linda?
Yep.
And if you click other contacts here on the left, and you just click the very first option, and then you click all, it'll select basically everyone you've ever emailed in your entire life that's been saved in the cache, so to speak. I have 19,124. Look at that. And we just go over here and click export and let's grab them. And we're going to save that to your desktop, that spreadsheet. So now we have everybody from your phone and we have everyone from your email list or your email communication history. Pretty simple and crazy how fast it is to do that, right? To grab both those lists, right?
Mhm.
One more, your CRM. I forget what's the CRM that you use, Linda.
We're using the Compass CRM, so it's
Okay.
yeah.
So you have, if you're with Compass, you can grab your contacts out of there. I would just Google how to export contacts out of the Compass CRM.
Mhm.
But whatever CRM you're using, just literally Google how do I export my contacts out of, X CRM. Follow the instructions, grab everything. And if you have the option to suppress anyone that's unsubscribed or bounced, please leave those people out. And now you have a third list sitting on your desktop. And I would argue that is a very fast and quick shortcut to grab all of your past clients and your centers of influence, anyone that you've ever known in your life, probably within about 10 minutes, if you know what you're doing, sitting on your desktop. And for those of you running teams, by the way, or you're looking to have agents come work for you and then the new agent's looking at you just saying, what in the world are we going to do to help me get business? Sit down with them and do those three things right there at the meeting. And it's going to open their eyes, just like hopefully your eyes are being opened of what to do next. All right. Real quick. Now that you have those three spreadsheets sitting on your desktop, you want to use a service like neverbounce.com. I'm going to show this to you. This is what we use at Vyral, and this is what we do for you in the build process. So when you hire us, we take you through this process to get your contacts, but we pay for this service called Neverbounce. And essentially what this does, I love their value proposition. Three steps. Upload your list of your Google contacts, your CRM contacts, your cell phone contacts. Download the freshly cleaned one. And now 99.9% of the emails in that list are delivered with confidence. It scrubs the email, it scrubs the spreadsheet. Isn't that great? So now, once you run those three exports through this, they're now all clean. Yay. All right. And then we go sign up for a email marketing program. The one that Linda uses is called My Emma. It's a little more expensive, has a higher deliverability rate. The emails get in the inbox. But this is the one that she uses. We give her an account when she's a client. So you actually have the Emma Essentials package as a customer, Linda, right here. And we take all those emails that have been scrubbed, we upload them into your email marketing account, and then it will then deduplicate them all. So again, if you know what you're doing, not too much time, you can grab all your contacts, scrub and deduplicate them and get them into an email marketing account or ready to receive a message. Pretty cool. And then we set up a Zapier integration. I don't know if we have it set up for Compass. I don't know if that one, if it works with
I
that
think
one,
at the
does it?
time it didn't work with them.
May or not. There's probably some type of middleware. The idea would be is that now that we did this, every time you add or update a contact in your CRM, it syncs right over to the email marketing program. And not only does that list go into the email marketing program, we also upload it to your Facebook or Meta account. So if you have a message, you can also boost the message just to the people in your database versus the unwatched masses. So if you have something to say, you can email it out and you can post it on social media and put a little bit of money into it and get everyone to see it in your list. And if you set the middleware integrations, every time you add or update a contact in your CRM, it pushes over to the retargeting list and to the email list. All right. And I think what we did, Linda, is then we sent out a initial reconnect message. And if it's all right, I'd like to articulate that message that everyone can. This is recorded. Maybe this is where we'll take some notes. It, it's kind of terrifying thinking about what are you going to send to all these people, right? And what are you going to post on social media to like literally everybody in your entire life? And I'm going to give you that message now. I'm just going to kind of riff it off the top of my head. And when I pause, Linda, I'd like you to fill in the blank. All right. So I'll kind of lead you up to a point, or maybe you give me some local knowledge that you could fill in the blank when I say it. Sound good?
Sure, sounds great.
It's like those books that you read, right? When you fill in
Yeah,
the word that you want,
fill in the
right?
blanks.
Yeah, yeah. But why don't you, before we articulate that message everyone can use and customize for themselves to send out, um, can you share maybe your concerns and your fears of like when I asked you to do this, to send an email like a message and start publishing stuff to like all these people?
Part of it was just the initial getting over the video portion of it, just being comfortable behind camera. You also worry about portion of 1% that just had a bad day. And you know, they're
Hmm.
going to say, don't ever call me again, or you're blowing up my email or whatever. You know, uh, it's a numbers game. And you learn how to respond to that and apologize and just say, hey, we are just here to serve people who want and need our help. That's it. And you can't wait to be perfect. If you waited to be perfect, it wouldn't get done. So basically, jump in the pool and you'll learn how to swim.
All right. Well, let's help everyone jump in the pool. Here's the message. So when I pause, fill in the blank. Sound good, Linda?
Okay,
All
sure.
right. So, excited to reconnect with you for the subject line. Dear friends, clients, colleagues, I'm writing you since we may know each other. We may have I may have helped you buy or sell a home in my how many years in the business?
28 years in the
In my
business.
28 years in the business here in Central Texas. Or maybe we know each other in some way because we're connected on social media or just a relationship of mine. But I wanted to write you and let you know that what you hear, that I'm still selling real estate. I'm still in the game. And then what you hear in the national news with regards to the real estate market and housing prices and affordability and the growth in home prices isn't necessarily what's happening where we're at, or specifically where I'm at here in Austin. In fact, since the post-pandemic run up of prices, we've seen a decrease in prices of,
Close to 20% in many cases.
mhm. And that's certainly not the case around the country. And I've decided, because I'm getting asked questions all the time about real estate, especially when prices drop that much, to start answering the questions that answering for my buyers and sellers for you. And going forward, the reason I write you is to let you know I'm going to start sending you some helpful, educational, informative video updates to keep you up to date with what's going on with house prices and to help you make really informed decisions when it comes to real estate here in Central Texas. In fact, my first video to you is going to be on the topic of, pick one,
Is this the right time to buy or sell in Central Texas?
great. And you'll have that video here very shortly. And if you don't want to get these videos from me, no hard feelings. I know this email is out of the blue. Just scroll down to the bottom and unsubscribe. But if you happen to read this far and you're actually be thinking about making a move, I have a nifty tool on my website where you can find out exactly what your home is worth. And if you click there, put your address in, it'll give you a pretty good idea based upon maybe Compass's algorithms that I work for of what it might sell for. I'm happy to give you some more personalized advice of what I'd actually listed for if you want to talk to me afterwards once you get the price online. And if you're thinking about buying a home, you can actually search all homes for sale on our website, just like we realtors do virtually on the MLS. And you can click here and search all homes for sale. The same inventory I would have access to if we sat down and looked at properties together. You can click here and do that.
And in
All right.
fact, if you click here, we also have access for our clients to properties that are on private exclusives
Oh
and
yeah,
coming soon.
it's the big
So
thing.
you have a big advantage over going to the general MLS, and we have access to, in fact, about five unpublished private listing networks that we can go and look at for you.
Yeah, uh, sellers come to us first to test the market before they go on Zillow. And if you want access to that, you can click here and register to get on our VIP buyer list, right?
Absolutely.
And of course, if you need any strategic direction when it comes to buying or selling, I'm here. Just reply to this email. You only pay me if the home closes at a price and terms that you're happy with. So my advice on the front end as you plan your move is complimentary, so to speak. So let me know. I'm here if you ever need any help, and I look forward to seeing some helpful videos. If I could ever be of service to you when it comes to moving, I'm here. Stay in touch, Linda. That was kind of the first email you sent out. It went
That's
something
right.
like that, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So for those of you that are watching, if you want to put in the comments, how would you feel about typing up something like that, personalized for you, and pressing the send button out to everyone that you've known in your entire life, and what that might do to spark some conversations? Yep. What that might do to spark some conversations of like, oh my goodness, so interesting that you sent this to me, or at least people kind of maybe yelling at you back, but you may just delete them, right? And that's the whole idea of marketing, to shift out the people who are interested, not interested, right? That's the idea. But if you're looking to get more appointments from your database, which is why you're here, cell phone contacts, email contacts, CRM contacts, scrub deduplicated, load it into an email marketing program with an email like that. This is recording, you get the recording, honest, warm, sent out. And that same message, let's go post it on social media and go put a little money into it and boost it. A nice little selfie of yourself. And I think you'll be very surprised of some of the initial conversations it sparks. Thanks, everybody. We got some good comments there, Linda. All right.
Awesome.
Yep. So now it's time to deliver on the promise. So you send this reconnect message out and you set up the integration. So as you go out and prospect and advertise, you keep building your retargeting list, you keep building your email list. You know, you now actually have to start publishing content and sending out regular messages to your database. Will you share like what we teach here at Viral Marketing of the 3 messages a month with the audience? What's that plan? What's the frequency? What do we send out?
Yeah.
What is the
So
36 touch plan that you're following with us?
sure. So probably two per month are going out to our with videos to our buyers and sellers. And then and that's the core of what most people are doing. We also, like I said, do one for
Agent
recruiting
attraction
as
recruiting.
well. And yeah,
Mhm.
and then we occasionally we have one that's more does not have a video with it. But in most cases, and the ones that get the most engagement are ones that have video. They have 2 to 4 call to actions at the bottom, and they're specific. Like they also have an opportunity to click on a link to set up an appointment. Sometimes we offer to do a Zoom webinar for buyers or sellers so we can answer any questions that they have. And those, in fact, I need to do more of those because the interesting thing is the few times when we had to cancel one for whatever reason, we had people say, oh, "Can we do it like tomorrow? Can we do it?" And people are real when people are really asking questions and they're really confused about what's going on either in the market or with how real estate has changed and how it works. um, they want answers now, and they don't trust, and they probably shouldn't trust some of the information that's out there in the media because it's just not always correct, or it's not correct for our area.
Mhm.
So have them ask real-time questions. Just gives them comfort, even if they're not ready right now. So I think that sending those newsletters out, we do our videos once. I have a meeting once a week, and probably every other week is when we actually record. So we set those up ahead of time. I set aside about a half an hour. Each video is typically about anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. It just really depends on the topic, and then it is edited there is B-roll that's added to it, which is stock footage. Um, and also, they do a lot of the overlays. Any information that I wanted them to add, they could also add if I had stats or whatever. I don't add a lot of stats to my video because I think you lose momentum if people are just looking at numbers and charts. But that's for a different type of post. And and then that I get an email saying this is the proposed email newsletter we're going to send out, asking for me to critique it and make sure that everything looks correct. And 90% of the time, it's perfect. 10% of the time, it's a very slight tweak, or I want to add something to the verbiage that goes in that newsletter, typically. And then they tell me when they're going to go out. So we will get the information back on a
Hmm.
regular basis on the number of opens and click-throughs, and we also get a list of who wants what. So it will include the name, the email address, what exactly they were interested in. And there also many times is a link for people to actually set an appointment in my Calendly. So I also involve my Calendly calendar link many times. So does that kind of answer
Those are the
your question?
best.
Huh?
That's the best call to action. Just book a time on my calendar and show up.
Yeah, just put it in my calendar.
Yeah.
My thing is now it's in my time block to make sure that at least every week I go through my Calendly and make sure it's accurate and that I haven't scheduled something over those. But I try to keep certain times and days open and it's actually blocked off in my calendar so that if somebody does choose that time, that we're pretty certain that will happen. And I'll just take out my holidays and if I have a family event or whatever, I'll take that off of the availability.
Well, let me share with you what's next. So you send out this reconnect message, everyone. All right. And we got to pick a recipe of what's the appropriate frequency and I don't know, mix of messages to send out to your database to achieve the result of people hiring you. And what we recommend at Viral are two educational videos every month and one monthly lead generation message. So you can see here for the month of January, we have our suggested video scripts, but you could certainly make custom ones, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And you love doing the custom ones specific to what's going on in Texas, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in Texas, what's going on with all the foundations there.
Oh my gosh, that and
See,
concrete
I
cancer
know
on the
that.
pools. I don't know if you've heard about pool concrete cancer, but that's a thing too.
Yeah, there's some nuances in Texas for sure. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the custom videos, but if we go on down here, and again, I put the link here in the chat of all these topics. All right. For the month of November, again, I don't know which ones you're publishing, but the one we recommend for November is what do experts forecast or what's going to happen in 2026 when it comes to the real estate market? And then should I consider a low ball offer, which is usually the case in the winter as homes start sitting on the market, you start getting lowballed. I kind of like to put these later in the year. Did you do these topics or did you choose different ones for November?
I did. I've talked about the 2026 housing market quite a bit, and I'm really encouraged about what I think is going to happen, regardless of where the interest rates go. So I really think we're going to have a very healthy 2026, and it's about time. But as far as the lowball investor offers, um, that's really directed at the seller on whether or not they should entertain one. We just, what we want to do is we want to prepare them because they're going to get them. They're, especially if something's been on the market for a while. And we just tell them that there are people out there that will make 20 to 30 offers in a day. A lot of times there'll be letter of intent, which we do not need to pass along to you if you don't want those. But if it's a written offer, we're required to deliver it to them, and they just need to not take it personally. It's always the seller's decision. So we're very, very cautious about preparing people for what's likely to happen, um, and and that they're gonna get these offers. It doesn't mean that that's what their house is worth, but it does if they continue to get a bunch of lowball offers, um, then in no general offers, then maybe it's time to have a price discussion. So
I mean,
um,
you're already laying down the knowledge of the topics. Can't help yourself.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean those are the two questions I'd love for you to do on camera, which we'll talk about here in a second, and answer and send out. Or you could choose custom ones. But
Yeah.
in that link there is a bunch of great ideas that work all year long as a listing agent. And then here, I'll show you again, is the lead campaign. These are designed to spike response. It's usually, hey, would you like to know what your home is worth? Click here, put your information in. Hey, would you like my free fall home selling guide? Click here, put your information in. Hey, would you like to join my VIP off-market exclusive list with Compass? That's like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Click here, put your information in. Hey, would you like to get a mortgage rate quote? I got the brokers, I got the lenders. Click here, put your information in. And when
Yeah.
you blend the educational messages with the lead gen messages, that's how it spikes response from the database. And this is what everyone's sending out here. So I guess what I'd like to share with you is you get on a call with us once a month, or you sit down once a month and you start planning and start thinking out what you want to say for whatever topic you want to publish. I guess my question to you guys, have you seen the script worksheet? Has your coach worked with you on this, or are they just provided to you? I
They
just,
do send it to me. I get that every month, usually the last week of the month for the next month and I can click on each one, it will open it up. In fact, what I do is I save those scripts in my computer because a lot of them are they're not specific to right now. So if I wanted to go back and look at them at a future date, um, or just wanted to have a training topic or something, it's really, really good information to use as a resource.
once we come up with a topic, it's helpful to start piecing together how do you structure the video and what do you say around the video. I won't go into this too much in depth, but this is usually the part where it gets really difficult of what you're going to publish to send out. And it's nice to have someone to help you out with this, but I'll walk you through this briefly. This is what Linda gets for her scripts or how she plans out a script. So let's say you're going to make a YouTube video. It should have a hook, a backstory, three key points, and a call to action. And whatever you're going to say for your video topic, that's a great structure. Then let's say you have your video script. All these things, the YouTube title, the video email description, the chapter titles, the hashtags, et cetera, all of this needs to be thought out. So once the video is done, what's all the marketing content you're going to put around it so it gets found and gets engagement? And you want someone or AI or something to help you with this and write this out. So when you go in to shoot the video, there's a plan. We provide these to you, Linda, or you like to go in there and maybe tweak them and customize them. But this is really the heavy lifting of what are we going to say, what we send out. And here is the worksheet for you that I put here in the chat. All right. So let's say all that's planned, which that right there is like another lesson. Now you have to shoot it. It's time to sit down and record. Can you share how we reduce the pain for you of doing that and make it like the least painful possible and
Well, first
efficient?
of all, it's much easier than anybody would think. For me, I have a tripod. I'm looking at my tripod right now. It's still in my living room. I usually record in my living room with light, natural light facing in. It's a comfortable place for me, and it looks comfortable for people who are watching it. This right here, this is not my office, so it's different. But when people see you in your own home and they see trees outside and all, I think that it just makes it much more real. I mean, look at your office. It looks like you got a cozy chair in the corner. You could read a book. I mean, it just says, "Oh, this is who I am," and pictures of your family. It's very homey, and so you've invited people into your office or into your home to discuss things that they might need or want. And again, you adjust. I have my guy will tell me to sit higher, to bring the camera down. I put my phone on airplane mode so we don't get interrupted, and hopefully day when the lawn guys are going to show up and the pool guy's going to show up and the Amazon guy's not going to show up. And we just knock it out. So we have set appointments. We've actually just changed our appointment time because of some training that I'm doing on the particular day that we had before. But so we just moved a little bit later on. So we use Monday afternoons. Works well for me. I usually don't have client appointments on Monday afternoons, so works great.
So once a month, we discuss what you're going to say in your marketing. And then another time, ideally, we sit down and shoot your videos with you. And it's nice to have a partner doing this with you. And we use a product called Riverside. It's a studio quality Zoom meeting, essentially. This is pretty nifty. Let me show you this. This is where you can hop on your phone and there's an app or on your webcam. And this is what all the big names use to get studio quality footage for people around the world because it records right to your hard drive. It's pretty nifty. And this is what Linda hops on with us should she want to shoot with us. And we're just right there guiding her, directing through the whole process, even loading up to a teleprompter, which you can on here, and recording the content. So it's one time a month to figure out what you're going to say, and another time every single month to figure out to actually say it. And then after that, once you kind of go through this process, then you're done. Now the editorial process starts of like, how do we actually get this out and get people to see it and engage with it? So ultimately, these videos and this database marketing plan that we're talking about today leads to what? What's the whole purpose that we're here for? Appointments. And I love how earlier when I was asking you, you're very clear on it's almost like the video is the excuse to get in front of them, but we tag along all the calls to action. All the direct response marketing is tagged along to it of why someone should reach out to you. Can you speak to that one more time and I'll go into the whole editorial process of having really strong calls to action around your
Yeah.
video is gives people a
Yeah,
reason to reach out to you.
it wasn't something that I knew or going into this. Um, but when it clicked, it clicked. So, um, email, for instance, in and of itself, or even a website, is a here's the information. We're just going to regurgitate this information to you, take it or leave it. Um, but with video, not only does it feel interactive and it feels like a relationship, but with the call to actions, it gives them a choice of what they might be shopping for. If you're a shopper, then you kind of get that. You go, okay, well, you know, I really love getting this information. How does it relate to me in my situation? Yeah, I would like to know what my house is worth. Maybe I would like to get a search of all the homes that are coming on the market in my own neighborhood and stay in touch with that information on a regular basis. Maybe I want to find out about how to protest my taxes. Maybe I want to set up a one-to-one call and have find out the value, or have Linda come out and walk through my house and talk to me about what I might need to do in the next 6 months when I'm ready to sell. So whatever those call to actions are, having um, most of them will have like four, but at least two to four calls to action, I think. And then there's usually a little graphic that goes with it, so it's eye-catching.
Hmm.
I think, color and pattern and everything, especially everything that Compass does in their marketing is geared on black and white, but that's by design so that it draws you to the color that's there as well. And so, you notice, we've got on black today, so we're both, but there's color around us, and so that's what our eyes are drawn to. And so when they have those calls to action, we get a good return on that, and I think that's the real juice. That's what we're going for. We're going for answering their need, uh, whatever it
Yes,
is,
solving. Hey, you may have these
solving a
specific
problem.
pain points.
Hmm.
Maybe you're watching this helpful video, but these are some of the reasons you want to reach out to me.
Yeah.
And we include those around the video. So let's walk through. Okay, we're here to get more business from your database with videos and more appointments. We talked about how to export, clean it up, get the reconnect email message out. We discussed sitting down and planning out what to say. I gave you some topics. We even discussed maybe a way of going about shooting it on your phone, on your webcam, with a partner, a director using something like Riverside, wherever you are, in the world. And now you have the footage. So what has to happen now? And I'm going to walk you through kind of a bunch of Trello stages, so to speak, of the editorial process for this. This is what Vyral does. This is why we've been around for so long, because this is a real lot of work to get this done. So we get the footage. It goes to an editor. They load it into Adobe Premiere, which is the editing software we cut in, and make it look really nice. Spend about an hour, maybe 2 hours on it, and put the little title graphics on there, cut out the ums, make it really smooth, and even maybe grab some B-roll from stock B-roll that makes sense and edit a nice video together. And we can even pull a short from it and include a complimentary short, or maybe you shot that short separately, but there would be a short that would go with that long form video.
Yeah, we usually do our shorts right after our long form.
So you shoot them separately, which is
I
better.
mean,
So the
immediately
short's like an
after.
ad, yeah, the short's like an ad
Yeah,
to the long form video.
right. Like one,
Perfect.
like one sentence.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You're just trying to ride the algorithm on the shorts to get people back to your YouTube channel to watch the long video.
Yeah.
So now that video goes on your YouTube channel, properly optimized, the headline, thumbnail, description, tags. And then it goes onto a blog that we build for you that has all the call to actions. Okay. And there's a link to your blog on the write up that we shared, um, that we embedded there with a written article. Because when we send traffic to it, I want it to go there where I can control the experience and all the reasons to respond are there. Think of the video as the bait that goes out to get them back to the trap. And the trap is the website. So we would build a really good trap. So put that on a blog post, and then we load it up into an email. We send that out. Then we take the video and upload it to your Facebook business page, LinkedIn, Google My Business, and your Instagram.
And YouTube.
Well, YouTube, yeah, because it went on YouTube before it went out, but yes, it was on YouTube. And then if you want, we'll even put a little money and create an ad out of it and do a little bit of light retargeting to your database and website visitors to boost it so people see it. And then you might have like a super niche, really valuable list of like your best buyer nurtures and your best seller nurtures. Maybe everyone that's met with you that hasn't like decided to pull the trigger yet, or your best past clients that refer you, talking maybe 100, 200 people. We actually take that video and put it on a postcard with a QR code so you can mail it out to make sure those people get it, because you can't really necessarily rely on maybe the algorithm of social media or an email to get your message to those people. Do you do the postcards list, Linda?
We have not, but now I'm thinking maybe we should, especially because at least in our market, for a lot of properties that have not sold, they've come off of the public market and now they're going to be on private market for a few months to reset the clock. So during that period of time, especially if they're not engaged or listed with another realtor, now's the time to engage them.
Yes. But put some thought into, it's maybe about $1 a postcard,
Hmm.
but I can't think of a better 150, $200 to spend than building a list of like your most valuable leads and prospects and accounts, people, um, and making sure they get that video in the mail. Just because email and social media isn't the most reliable way to reach the most important, most valuable contacts, right?
Okay, I got my next thing to do.
There you go. Perfect. And then we repeat, we wash and repeat that basically forever, that process.
Yeah.
And this goes out. Hopefully people see it.
Hmm.
Hopefully people respond to you and they engage with you. Great. But we also give you a list of all the people that watch it that we could track to the best of our ability. Will you speak to that a little bit, Linda? And now we're starting to get into like where's the business coming from all of this? Where's the appointments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get paper forms a lot of times that list exactly who engaged and what they're looking for. And so the process is either, and we've done a lot of different things. We've had VAs, and also I personally will reach out and engage with these people. And engaging could take the form of text message, phone call, email, video text, video email, short form, very short form if it's a video text, so that it's very personal. But we know at that point in time there's just a really high opportunity. There's a high interest from them because they actually asked for some information.
Yeah. You're going to get a list of all the people that watched your videos, the best of our ability to track that. And when you send out your lead generation messages that drive people to a web form, I mean, you can immediately notify when someone opts in
Yes.
to
Hmm.
be able to follow up. Have you sent out the free home fall selling guide yet this month?
Not the fall home selling guide. I don't think. I think it was the buyer guide, I believe.
The one we have is for seller guide, but
Okay.
regardless, for this month,
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to Keeping Current Matters.
Yeah.
They
Right.
do a really nice job. You can go get a free trial with them,
Right.
and you
And
can actually download their buyer or seller guides they put out, I think twice a year, spring and fall.
yeah. You know, it cracked me up. I had a few realtors that asked for that, and these are realtors that I've known for like 20 years. So they obviously
Here's
they're
the link.
huh?
I put the link in the chat for everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, here they are. So like so check this out, everyone. It's like let's get down to it. Let's make some money. So
Yeah.
how do we get some response? We can send out the reconnect email message. Certainly, I think we all get the gist. We can make videos, and that's helpful when it builds a relationship. But I'm telling you, if you want to spike some response and you want some listings right now, go sign up for a free trial of Keeping Current Matters.
ESPN. Yep.
Yeah. And just go down, or you could use AI to write one. I mean, whatever. I'm sure you could probably find different guides for anything around the internet somewhere. Ask your broker if you have one, but they put together,
Yeah, we do have them through our broker, and
yep,
we also a lot of the title companies also have a
guides.
guide you can use as well. So
Mhm.
whatever, and there's also relocation guides. So depending on what your message is, um, offering that is huge.
So there you go. Fall 2012 selling your house guide. All right. Get that. Then you put it up on a landing page. Let's take a look at what that would look like. I actually have a link here. Here's a live one. There you go. And here you go. So now you have this nice little landing page. How simple is this? Email, name, phone, address, download. That's how you generate a lead.
And
Wouldn't
it all happens without you having to get in there and do it.
Yeah, so now you can send an email out to your database saying, hey, if you're thinking of selling your house, I got this guide. Click here to get it. I mean, there's more to it than that, but that's the basic of the message, right?
Yeah.
And we actually pulled some results of a client because I got an email going out about this to all the customers here. I think this client got 17 opt-ins. Yeah, well, I don't have the screenshot here, but 17 people requested the guide in the database.
Yeah.
Isn't it a great lead to call those people saying,
Yeah.
hey, you downloaded my guide to sell your house. Want to talk about that? And then you book the appointment.
Yeah.
Free guide marketing has been around forever in like the direct marketing space, and it is not dead by any
Hmm.
means. So once a month, you want to send out something to spike response like that to. generate leads. So the whole goal here, I mean, here's kind of how we wrap this up. If you want to book more appointments from your database with video, look inward to your database first for business. It's implied by the title, then like out to the algorithms. Export, deduplicate, scrub everyone that you know. Get them a reconnect message. Put them on a long-term 36 touch nurture plan of what we recommend 2 videos a month and 1 monthly lead generation email. There's topics. Do it. Hire someone, work with someone to take ownership of that editorial process to make it happen. That's where Vyral comes in if you want to hire us. And hopefully people reach out to you, or you kind of get the people who are watching and you get the leads. And you can either call them or someone else can call them on your behalf to schedule meetings. And that's how you get clients. How's that, Linda?
Great. You've got the recipe. You have really fine-tuned it over the years. I'm just
Thank you.
I have can't say enough good things about what you guys have done for our business and for educating people about the process.
For anyone who's watching, if you want to kind of feel what it's like to work together, I'm going to put a link for a consultation here on our website. And you can book a call with us. We'll walk you through the details of how this works. And say that you attended the Linda Welsh webinar, and we'll give you a free trial. We'll actually send out the reconnect message for you for free. Round up your list, load it up, send it. We can also make a video with you for free, no charge. Pick a topic. We'll plan it out, script it, write it, edit it, free. Or if you want to send out a lead generation email, like for example, the free fall home selling guide, we'll send it out free to kind of see what it's like working together, to see if we can shake the trees of some business from your list to build your confidence to spend money on this long term. All right. And then we add one more thing to build your confidence. What's the biggest fear when you spend money on marketing, Linda?
That you're not going to get your return on your investment back.
That's correct. So what we do here at Vyral is we reverse that risk for you. You should see meaningful progress in the first 90 days to get that ROI. If you don't, we refund all of your money. Our average client books an additional 6 appointments from their database in the first 90 days. If you don't see meaningful progress to that, let us know. We'll give you all your money back. That's it. I think we're 3 minutes over. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Linda? Good job today.
No, it's great. I was just going to add one thing and tell me what you think about this. I think having this, I think blogs kind of are sort of like QR codes. They were important, then you didn't see much about them, and then they are important again. And I think one of the reasons they're going to be important going forward is because of the AI algorithms going out and searching for content and to find people who are leaders in their business. So I think the more information we put out there, the more opportunity we have to be found, even by people that don't know us.
Well, that we didn't even go into all that, but all this stuff is hanging out online and it's all optimized for your name, typically like best realtor in Austin or something to that effect. So when someone is researching you and they type your name in, this stuff shows up. It's kind of like your online resume of how active you are online. We like to think of online, I don't want to go too deep into this, but we like to optimize more for your name. So when people are researching you and trying to find out more about you, Linda, like we talked about that human connection, this stuff shows up.
Yeah,
So, but
good
look,
stuff.
we could teach a whole long class on this. We just have an hour today, and hopefully we delivered on the promise. That's the big thing on a webinar, right? How do you get more appointments from your database with video? There you have it.
There you go.
Linda, thank you for
Thanks so
doing this. I'll
much.
let you get back to work.
I am happy to be in business with you.
You're awesome. All right, guys,
Thanks.
we'll leave
Thanks,
it
Greg.
there. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Bye.